Today we're going to take a look at the evolution of Travis Scott's artistry, from his debut mixtape Pharaoh to his latest album Utopia. Let's explore the moments that have changed and shaped Scott's career. In 2013, Travis Scott released his debut mixtape Pharaoh. This was after his first and second project, The Graduates and The Classmates, failed. Influenced by artists like Kanye and Cudi, this early work showcased an experimental approach to production and an exploration of dark, atmospheric sounds with a very moody and aggressive undertone.
Himalayas, I got more keys than the mayor. Let's have a prayer.
These tracks, for example, introduced listeners to a unique combination of trap mixed with psychedelic elements and heavy 808s. The tracks are very experimental in terms of production, and this was definitely Travis's strength, as he wasn't as good with lyrics at the time. This album showcased already the beginning of his heavy auto-tuned voice, which is a signature style of his nowadays. 454 days later, building on the limited success of Pharaoh, Travis released his second mixtape, days before Rodeo. This mixtape really showcased the potential that Travis had. As Jacob Roy from the 405 said, "It wouldn't be a stretch to say Travis Scott could be at the forefront for a new generation of hip-hop."
To the rodeo last night had me down in a bag comatose. Don't think sunshades and a pill gon' help. Once I'm gone, can't tame myself.
When Travis released his first studio album Rodeo, certain songs immediately stood out.
90210, 90210, looking for the alley. Open up that window. Don't you let out the antidote. Yeah, party on a Sunday.
90210 and Antidote were well received, yet some felt that the album in its entirety lacked personality. Matthew Cooper of Clash stated, "Yes, the production is razor sharp, the beats are skewed and often very loud, which makes them feel important, but in reality it's all a facade, an image." But that's not what Travis thought. "Even though I don't feel like I'm at a point where my shit is at an all-time high, we're working to get there. At this point I'm riding a bull for just 8 seconds and it's hard as but we made it." Regardless, the album eventually was certified platinum and still branded in today's memory. Rodeo was a pivotal moment for Scott's career because this truly marked his name next to already big names in the scene. On the 2nd of September in 2016, Scott released his second studio album, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. Just 9 days later, the album became Scott's first #1 album on the US Billboard 200. The next day, he signed a worldwide deal with Universal Music Publishing. The album was more focused on his personal life and emotions, trying to reach people with a more introspective approach. And while Travis's style has changed a lot the years prior, he still maintained his signature dark and moody sound. The album had many big names associated with it, including Andre 3000, Young Thug and Kendrick Lamar, the latter who would appear on Goosebumps.
I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah.
Scott explained how he came into contact with Lamar for Goosebumps. "I met him at the MTV Video Music Awards one year. He was just like, 'Yo man, I quit your music, it's super dope and inspirational.' I was like, whoa, this is the best rapper in the globe, he f***s with my music. That's one of the things that made me want to keep working on my music and try to keep it going."
After Sunday, I've been mentally like stressed. I've been down. I've been like questioning. I don't know, man. I'm lost, man. I don't know, man.
But you look at it somebody. I ran for mayor 3 times. Lost the first 2 times.
Okay.
But the way I look at it,
Okay.
it wasn't my defeat.
Yeah.
Keep coming. Yeah. Keep coming. Because you got to tell folks that sometimes you don't get what you want, but you don't stop.
Yeah.
See, now is the time you can tell that story. They need a person like you to tell them. It ain't over.
Which brings us to Astroworld. This album elevated Travis Scott to superstardom.
This shit way too big. When we pull up, give me the loot. Was off the Remy, had up at post. Had to hit my old town.
I mean, do I need to say more? With hits like Sicko Mode and Stargazing, the album featured intricate production, genre-blending experimentation, and an all-star cast of collaborators, including Juice WRLD, 21 Savage, Takeoff, Drake, and Frank Ocean, earning him widespread acclaim and an insane commercial success. It was certified triple platinum and it won Album of the Year, while some even go as far as saying it was the best album of that decade. Scott described the album as a continuation of his debut album Rodeo, stating, "My whole idea was if you locked into Rodeo, you definitely locked into Astroworld. I'm just finishing the saga I started on my first album." Astroworld debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, and Sicko Mode became Scott's highest charting single. And with this album, Travis announced a whole music festival, the now infamous Astroworld Festival. 1,820 days later, almost 5 years after Astroworld, Travis Scott would release his 4th studio album, Utopia. For me, the pause between albums felt deliberate, and here's why. After the fatal crowd crush during the first night of the 2021 Astroworld Festival, Travis Scott himself was in particular condemned for his handling of the whole incident. His apology was heavily ridiculed and turned into a meme. Numerous lawsuits were filed against him, and Astroworld and the rest of the festival was cancelled, and no Astroworld festival has been held ever since. Also in January of 2023, it was announced that Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner are no longer in a relationship. Finally, on June 29th, 2023, a grand jury declined to indict Travis or anyone else associated with the Astroworld incident on criminal charges. And only a month after this verdict, his new album would be released. So I feel like this album was already done way before the release, only ready to be published when the storm surrounding Travis Scott calmed down. But one can only speculate about that.
Look in my eyes, tell me your tale, do you see the road? I'm out to my soul, and tell me the size whenever the smoke clear out of my face. And my picture perfect, do I look fried? All of that green and yellow that drip from your eyes is telling. Tell your demise, I'm with to my side to push back the ceiling and push back the feelings I had to the side. I replay them nights and right by my side, all I see is a sea of people that ride me. If they just knew what Scotty would do to jump out the stage and say I'm a child. The things I created became the most weighted. I gotta find balance and keep me a smile.
I thought we were going to Utopia.
What makes you say this isn't Utopia?
I mean, I don't know. Isn't it supposed to be some perfect destination? This is just your hotel room.
Yeah, it looks perfect to me.
Utopia represents a culmination of his artistic journey so far. Travis blends elements from all of his previous works, showcasing a more refined, renewed, and a more mature Travis Scott.
Before I leave, I just want to leave the whole world inspired. I just want to leave a trail of inspiration.
With different themes as fame, love, and a search for an ideal world, the album invites listeners to reflect on their own desires and aspirations. Where Astroworld brought spectacle, Utopia brings subtlety and innovation. In that aspect, Utopia is much like his debut mixtape, Pharaoh. And I like how Astroworld got its own festival. Utopia was published with its own movie, CIRCUS Maximus, which is Latin for the largest circus located in Rome, also the place where Travis premiered Utopia for the first time live. And in Travis's own words,
There is no Utopia without Kanye West. There is no Travis Scott without Kanye West.
let's look into that and compare some songs from Utopia.
I like you better in the stands. I am a god. The stars start to fade. On lonely nights I start to fade. On lonely nights I start.
From the experimental beginnings of Pharaoh to the visionary heights of Utopia, Travis Scott's evolution as an artist is a testament to dedication, innovation, and perseverance.